What is up, guys? I haven't made a video in a while because honestly, the market has just been trash, especially for the month of March. But we seem to be heating back up, and I think, honestly, maybe a gem. Um, so, as you know, before I say anything, this is not financial advice. This is a penny stock, you could lose all of your money, so please, I'm not a financial advisor. Have your own plan, do your own due diligence. But anyway, now that we got that out of the way, so if you guys know me, I have been playing this stock for probably a month and a half now. The stock is PCSA, Processa Pharmaceuticals. I love this stock. I mean, I think we may have to change the first letter from Processa and change the P to Paul, because we have abused this stock over the last month. I think that we've played this maybe 6 times. The first time we played this, of course, announced, in real time, was on April 1st. So you see right here, the day it went to over 90. So I alerted here, 4/1/2025. This was when there were some low float bios going, taking some PCSA. It was kind of, honestly, under the radar because it just was going down on basically zero volume, which I'll show. And next morning, it woke up and it ended up hitting almost 90 the next day. So we'll get into a little bit more of this later, but we've played this maybe 3 or 4 times since then. It seems like almost every week. But it's always treated us really well. But anyway, so the stock is Processa Pharmaceuticals. The reason why I love the stock so much is because, now if you know me, I play pennies. I'm more of like, my specialty is pennies. I read filings and look at them all day. I basically know every single one of them. And it's hard to find good ones, especially recently with all these cashless warrants and things that are being put out and offerings. A lot of the pennies are just unplayable now, especially like under 10 cents, because they're just selling so many shares that it's just not even worth trying. So I've actually had better success in like the mid-teens and higher price range because they just have traded easier. But the thing that's special about PCSA is a couple of things. So one is it's a bio stock. Bio stocks always run, and they always run hard, right? That's just how it is. It doesn't necessarily even need data. Obviously, positive data helps. If you guys know, I really don't really care about catalysts, to be honest, when it comes to playing small cap pennies. Doesn't really mean anything to me. Do I look at it? Sure. Is it a factor, like, for me? No, honestly, because I'm more of a setup sort of guy. I like looking for bottom setups and finding the cleanest ones that could go. I don't really care if they get news or not. If they get news, great. If not, then whatever. It doesn't need news for them to go. But bios always run because that's just how the tickers are, right? And especially if they get any positive data and stuff, bios can make crazy moves. Okay, so what I like about Processa is that, one, it's a bio stock. Two, the float, which this is actually a little inaccurate as of which I'll show you guys, full transparency, but it's on Dilution Tracker recorded as a 5 million float, which is just unreal in the first part. This is not including the pre-funded warrants that they issued. So if those were fully exercised, which I believe they were, the float is now, I think, like 11 million. But inside that offering, you have a bunch of like insider purchases of like over $200,000. So it's probably a bit less than that when it comes to like free float. It's hard to do the exact math. I can just go based off of what it's trading. But anyway, even if you have an 8 or 9 million float bio stock, okay? If we go down to the dilution, all right, let's go look. So they have cash, not a ton, but it's okay. It's bio, and they don't need a ton of cash. They kind of just raise it when they need it. But they have these warrants, right? Now, these warrants that did the offering on need shareholder approval. They just put out the other day, time of when they're going to be doing the shareholder meeting, which is not until June 30th, which I'll show you right here. They just put this out, right? So they've been sitting on these warrants for over a month, and they can't even be sold or voted on for another almost 2 months from now, right? So these warrants are basically irrelevant, right? These warrants, you have the 2024 warrants of 1.5 million. These are irrelevant because these are gone, and they can't be sold. Then you have these pre-funded warrants, which is the ones that I was talking about. So these pre-funded warrants actually were fully exercised. If you look in their 10Q that they were put out today, the number of shares outstanding, 11.8 million. So this is now completely gone because, you could do simple math, but it says in here that all shares were exercised. I believe it says in here. Subsequent to March 31st, all pre-funded warrants were exercised. So this is zero now. So you have this gone, you have this gone, and this gone. So you have basically no dilution on a 10 mil float, maybe even less, biostock at 20 cents, right? Going into catalysts. So again, like I said, catalysts don't usually mean so much to me, but they do have something interesting. So they put this PR out back in October. So they are breast cancer. They're more into like the breast cancer studies, and they were doing their first patient dosing of their phase 2 trial in the NGC cap for metastatic breast cancer. Part of this reason why they did this warrant was because reason why they did this offering was because they needed some money to advance their effort in development of the NGC drug, right? But more importantly, it says phase 1B findings. We look forward to announcing the results. We got positive phase 1 findings. We look forward to announcing the results from an interim analysis of the phase 2 trial in mid-2025. We are basically in the middle of 2025, okay? We're in May. This is the middle of the year. Between May and July is how I see the middle. Obviously, the exact middle would be June, but listen, with these companies, you never know. That's why I don't go off Catalyst, because sometimes they'll say early, Q1, and then it comes out early Q2, right? Or it comes out late Q1. So I don't really base my finds, like my plays, off Catalyst because they're not reliable. If they come in, great. Or if you're playing the news the day of, great. But if I'm swinging something, the catalysts mean nothing to me. It's more about, are they diluting? Can they do a reverse split? What's the float? Where is it at in the chart? Is it bottomed out? Is it not? And if all of those things line up, then we have a potential one, right? This checks every single box. Now, I'm going to show you guys something to why the story that this chart tells me, okay? So I have been playing this for, like I said, for a month now. I watch it every single day. So I have not seen the stock trade better over the last few days in the last month that I've ever traded it. So just looking at this, right, you have the stock that was basically in February was at 65 cents, okay? It was really over $1 in December, right? And the float has not changed much since then, right? It's gone up, okay, maybe it went up 5 million, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that much, okay? So you're talking about something that squeezed from $1.50 all the way down to 20 cents on maybe 5 million shares sold, which is nothing. But anyway, so just going back to this, you have this going down on low volume, right? You see up here the daily volume, right? It's just going down 100K, less than 100K. I mean, they're just shorting it down, right? They're just shorting it down. It's rejecting this 20 SMA this entire way down, right? So low volume, 50K. I mean, this is nothing, right? You're talking basically like 20 grand worth of volume for the entire day, which is nothing, right? One buy would push this up and one sell would push it down. So it's almost irrelevant, okay? But the shorts are taking advantage, and they're just pushing it down, right? So it slowly is pushing down. It's rejecting this 20 SMA this entire time, okay? The day that I bought it and I found it, I said that it was holding this support right here, which was around 35, right? Give or take. It was fitting the theme at the time. I don't remember exactly what ran as to why I bought it in April, but something ran. I bought as a play. And you see the daily volume just completely spike, right? You're going from 175K, 40K daily volume to now almost 1 million, right? After, I alerted it and it went out. What I think that happened is this completely caught shorts off guard, right? The next morning, unexpectedly, I'll admit, it completely squeezed, which I'll show you here, to a high of 89 cents, okay? And then immediately pushed back down. Now, I've seen this candle and set up tons of times. Now, it could be dilution, of course. If they're diluting, that would help in putting the price down. But a lot of times when you see candles like this, it's usually because buyers get exhausted and shorts just push it back down. But the weirder thing was that after that day, the stock just completely started the free fall, right? It could have been from old bag holders, maybe that people were buying and chasing it, and then the next day they just ended selling off, or shorts got aggressive and they were just, they were just selling it and getting rid of it and trying to keep the price down and cover. Because after then, the next day went from 89 and it went all the way to, which I'll show you, 24 cents. Okay, it went from 89 to 24. And it's kind of went up, it went down. We played it again here. It popped to 40. We played it once again here. It popped to 35. But it's just been going down a low volume, right? Just rejecting this 20 SMA this entire time, okay? Now, before I get more into this, I just want to show you here in their 10Q that was literally just posted today. This is a big thing because it's very rare to get a bio stock that has this, because a lot of them do unregistered sales of equities. HEPA did it, OSHA did it. They start out with low floats, but then they end up just selling tons of shares, so the float really stays like that only for the first run. They're not even selling any unregistered sales. During the quarter ended March 31st, there was a total of 6,000 shares sold as basically unregistered. So they're not selling anything. They're literally not diluting at all. I watched the tape the entire time, and they're literally not selling any shares whatsoever. You can tell by watching the tape that they're not selling anything, right? Which is super rare. You can see the loading that's happening, right? Like, look at the daily volume starting to go up, okay? So we go from basically dead volume, right? Then we have these big spike days. It comes back down, right? Now watch the volume up here of the loading, okay? You have 1 million, slowly 1,500,000, okay? 10 million here. This was the day, I believe, it popped to 35 for us, right? And again, push right back down. But more importantly, I was saying to even, it's getting really close here. Because if you look at these moving averages, it's really getting close to breaking out. It has not broke over this trend of this 20 SMA basically since December, okay? December, it popped over, it came back down in December 17th, and it has not closed over this 20 SMA this entire time. This entire time. For the last 5 months, it hasn't been able to close over it. Now it's come back down, right? It hit bottom, and look at how the candles change. We go from all red candles to essentially green every day, okay? You get a couple of ones, but you get green every day. Now watch the volume, 10 million, right? But it doesn't sell off. 3.7 million, 800K. 2.3 million, 4 million, 1.5 million, 2 million. It's slowly making higher highs and higher lows, and volume is increasing. So now this chart has completely flipped from being in a downtrend to an uptrend, okay? So that's the first thing. The chart is just sick. If you look at the weekly, I mean, the weekly is just insane. I mean, you're talking the amount of room that this has to go up. It could literally skip. I have not seen a stock trade this clean in a while for a penny. It's very rare to find a penny in this price range that can get consistent flow every day and not have any selling. Don't get me wrong, you get dips, of course, right? Because it's such a low float stock. Somebody could sell 20,000 shares and it may come down. But in the schemes of selling versus buying, it's way more buying versus selling. So this is clearly getting loaded. And I think that this could make a huge move again. Because from here, in April, when it squeezed to 90 cents to being at 20, they didn't dilute one share. They haven't diluted one share in the last month when it was at 90 cents. You're talking, even if it did, I'm not saying it's going to do that, of course, but it's done it multiple times. You're talking almost 250% just from here. Okay? I think PCSA has room really to make a massive, massive run. Levels that I'm looking at is you have this level right here, which is 26.5. 26.5, they keep trying to short this down. You could even say like 27 if you want, okay? But 27, 26.5 is a big level that they're holding it down. After that, you have maybe 30, okay? And then I would say you have 35. And after 35, I mean, this thing really opens up. I mean, you're talking like this after 35. This is just gonna. This can just squeeze. I mean, this is one of those where if this squeezes, it could just go insane. And the best part about it is I'm going to show you what the short percentage is on this, and you're going to laugh because it's just absolutely insane. Which is, this was 22, sorry, this was 31, according to Ortex, 31, basically 32% short on a sub 10 mil bio stock at 20 cents. I have not seen numbers like this in a while. And I know this is accurate because I've been tracking it, and they're not, and we know they're not diluting, right? So on the 6th, it was at 23. The next day, it jumped to 32. I don't know how much higher it's going to jump from there. But you're talking a super, super high short interest, plus no dilution, on bottom, bio, with, again, a potential catalyst of phase 2 breast cancer positive data. But I honestly don't even care about the data. I think this could run regardless. This is, without a doubt, my top penny swing. We've played this so many times, so I have a ton of profits in this. I have a ton of shares here. A lot of it is free shares because, we've been playing it so many times. But I've been adding every single dip, every single day. I think that it's posed for a big move. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I could be completely wrong. Always take profits when you're happy. If you're happy at 5% profit, sell your stock at 5%. It's totally 100% up to you. You have to be, it's your money at the end of the day, and you got to be comfortable with whatever you have on the line and whatever the profits are. But everyone should be green here after the 5 times that we played it. But I don't think that this one is done. I think that there's definitely going to be another move here. So PCSA, keep it on watch. I'm looking for a big move. I would love to see 40 and plus. We break that 35, and honestly, on high volume, it could go. So PCSA, keep it on watch. I'm adding dips. If you were playing it and you wanted to cut, I mean, you could cut it under like 21. If you wanted to play that safe, you have support right here. I'll show you if you wanted to buy dips, you have support right around here, around 24. It dipped to that today a couple of times. All the dips have been bought up. I actually added a 24. I added a little bit of 25, but I've been re-adding this since when I first put it out since 22. So we're well green by now. But the only reason I'm making a video is because I think that there's potential here, and I definitely would keep it on your radar, keep it on your watch list. All right, guys, that's it. PCSA. I hope you guys enjoyed, and leave a comment of any feedback of what you guys want me to do next, and I'll talk to you soon. Later.